Guys, almost everybody that I know says that they want to start making some sort of a side income online. Now, for the people that I know that are full-time students who haven't started doing this, I would make the argument that they are genuinely lazy. But for people working full-time, and as someone who's got a job now myself, for the experience, I understand that it is quite challenging to start a business, or run a business, or maintain a business when you're working, especially if it's full-time. Now, of course, this can be a challenge, it is. But in the past month or so, actually since I've had this job, my income has increased massively. This is not a joke, this is not untrue. And I want to share what the biggest productivity hack in a way that I have discovered, which has allowed me to, again, keep growing my business and also focus on my business more. So for a bit of context on me, if you're watching for the first time or if you want to know the backstory, as you guys will know, I decided to get a part-time job. Now, it's not full-time, I won't lie about that. I did it for the experience. I don't really need the money. I just want to see how it feels and how that makes me feel, because I've always run my own businesses. It's always been fun, don't get me wrong, but there's something that you kind of miss. Now, that's not me saying that I miss a sense of fulfillment, because I don't. It's not me saying that I feel like I need something new in my life to excite me, because it's not necessarily that per se. But what it is for me is, look, I know the joys of running my own business, right? I know the fact that you can just go to the beach at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday because you want to. That's what I did yesterday. That's the joys of running your own business. You work when you want, however you want. But I also wanted to experience why it's so important to take my business so very seriously. And having a job has taught me this, right? Because now I understand, and I've said this in a full video that is either coming out soon or it's been released. I spoke about the fact that if I don't, and if you guys don't as well, sort your own finances out, whether it be make a business, invest in the right way, whatever, I've realised that is my forever. So I feel great about getting a job basically, but not necessarily for the same reasons that most people do. Most people do it for the money. Most people, well, that's really the only reason why most people do it. I've done it for the experience. The money is always good because obviously that's money that can go straight into a savings account or whatever, so that's great. But realistically speaking, it's not really for the money. So what I'm saying here in this video is, this past month or so has probably been one of the most productive times that I've had for at least 4 years, at least. I think I was very productive in the lockdowns. I know for a lot of people it wasn't the case, but for me, I had a lot of stuff going on, good stuff, in terms of my own businesses and whatnot. It was a good time. But I think that's really the last time that I've been this productive. Ever since the past month, I've given myself a wake-up call, and I've seen that, okay, work's not terrible, I won't lie, but it's not fun. It's not fun when you're looking out of the window of your business, not your business, someone else's business, I should say, and it's looking like this, and it's nice and hot and sunny, and you can't go out because your work finishes in 4 hours. It's not fun, right? It's not that fun. So how do you become more productive if your everyday is working? Well, I have started, as you can probably tell. It's not a recent development, but I had to get back on track because I had a very late night last night. You can tell by the eye bags. Yeah, I wake up at about 5-6 a.m. now, and this really has been a productivity hack, and I'll tell you why. For me, I'm not going to lie, I don't use the early part of the morning for working out. I don't go for an early morning run, I don't do any meditation or anything like that. I feel like when you wake up at 6 or whatever is early for you, maybe it's earlier, maybe it's later, when you wake up significantly earlier than what you need to, you have a different energy in you, right? Especially if you guys are or have been students like me, when you can just wake up at whatever time. And some days, I'm not going to lie, in my entire life, I'm sure everybody has at some point in their life, and some days I've woken up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You're lazy, you feel lazy, right? When I wake up at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 a.m, the feeling that it's like you've got an anger in your body in a way. And again, some people use that to train, some people use that to run, whatever. I use it to start building my business, to make more money, right? I do all my eBay listings in the morning. My YouTube videos, I feel like I need to have a mental clarity for that, so I do that in my leisure time when I'm feeling comfortable, like on the weekends, like today, or whatever. If it's not a weekend that I'm filming, it's a day that I've got off, or it's a day that I've got some free time. Anyway, the point is this. The point is, I wake up at 6. Most days, and I start with the listing straight away. Start eBay listing, responding to customers, sending out orders. Everything can be done by 8, 9, 10. Bear in mind, if my shift starts at what, 9, 10, that's ages. I can do 3 hours, 4 hours worth of work before I even go to work. And then I can do maybe one when I come home. That's 4 hours spent doing my business. Now, the reason why I've started to do it like this is because I acknowledged in my life, and I'm sure it's true for most people, a fact. Maybe it's laziness, maybe it's just the human psychology, and maybe it's just life. When I come in from work, right, let's say I start at 9 a.m. and finish at even 4 p.m, which is not that long. Because you've given your best hours, and it depends what job you do, of course, but mine is a lot of running around on your feet and all this sort of stuff. You're tired when you come back from work. You want to go to bed, and you probably will. Now, that's fine, but what it means is that if this is your 9 to 5 especially, you're not going to have the time to build a business, because it does take constant attention in the early days, I'd say. So you're not going to have the time and effort to build a business and be serious about it, and that's going to reflect in the results. What I have started doing flips the dynamic, right? Because here's the fact. You probably could work from 5, 6 when you get home from work until 10 if you really wanted to. But again, human psychology, maybe laziness, I don't know. None of us are going to do that. We're not going to. Here's the thing, right? Our business is very much merit-based. If I do 100 eBay listings a week, as I have done for the past month or two, now I'm making £2,000 a week on eBay, right? This is not a joke. £2,000 a week, because I'm putting in the work for that. If I go to work, as long as I don't get sacked, I get paid either way, right? If I'm doing 9 hours, I get paid 9 hours wage. If I'm doing 4 hours, 4 hours wage, whatever. What I think I'm trying to say is one of these things pays you either way, one of them doesn't. Now, of course, you can get sacked if you're lazy. I'm not saying be lazy, but here's the thing. I think the mistake people make is giving the best hours, the hours from when they've just woken up, the hours where they're going to be most productive and ready to work, they give it away to a business. Now, why do people work up until 5 p.m, if we're honest? It's because they have to, right? You're working until 5, not because that's what suits you. So when your shift finishes, 5 or 4 or 1, whatever. So with that being the message, right, we're giving our best hours away to companies. If you have to work a set number of hours, you're not going to complain because you're going to do it anyway, aren't you? It's your job, right? When you're at work, you don't complain. So working away is the kind of thing that motivates you to carry on. But if you're not forced, like you're not forced to build a business, if you're not forced to do it, you won't do it. So how about we flip the script? Not do the business of our own in our late hours where we don't have to. Do it in the early hours where we're motivated, where we're ready for the world. And then in the late hours, we flip the script, right? We don't go to bed at 11, 12, 1 anymore. Maybe we go to bed at 10, 9, 7, 8, something like that. And we flip the script. Apologies, there's a train going by. We flip the script in the sense that the hours where we're most tired are spent at work, right? Still do your job, still do it very good. But most people's jobs is not that intense, right? If you start at 9 and finish at 5, probably most of your work's done by 1, if we're honest. And with that being said, why not, therefore, focus on the thing that's going to build your future in the way you want, right? That's what I have been doing. That's what I would recommend anybody does. I don't know if this makes sense. A lot of these videos when I film them, they only make sense when I watch them back. When I'm saying it, it doesn't make too much sense. But what I'm trying to say here is this. Work is something that we will show up for anyway, because unless we are making a very substantial income on our own, we're not going to quit work. So we're going to give our all to stay in work. And of course, if we do, we are basically rewarded with a constant rate of pay for every day that we show up. Now, business is exactly the same, but we are not rewarded irrespective. You know, if we do 4 hours, it's not necessarily going to pay a certain amount. If we do 1 hour, it's not going to pay very much. So why don't we flip the script? The early hours where we're most awake, where we're most attentive, do our stuff, wake up at 6, 5, maybe 4, and get the work done, right? Get the work done. And people might say, well, that's uncomfortable, or I'll have to go to bed super early. Look, this is a thing about life that I'm realising. I'm not saying this to be patronising, because I know most people who watch my videos are older than me, but it's what I'm starting to realise, right? You get to a point in life where you actually grow up, which is what I am obviously have done, or perhaps I'm even still in the process of, I won't lie. You get to a point where you're becoming an adult properly, and you acknowledge that a few things are true. Whether it be living here, abroad, anywhere else in the world, whatever, you are going to have to do something to get money. Because whether it's a cheap country that still requires money to live in, or an expensive country like the UK or America or Canada, money is required. And if you're going to get money somehow, why not choose how? So in a way, especially whilst you're broke, which may be in your younger years, like probably myself in a way, or whatever, when you're in a position, I guess it's the old phrase, beggars can't be choosers, right? You can't be broke and then saying, oh, I don't want to do the extra work. No one wants to do the extra work. Well, if you want to build a business, this is what you got to do, right? This is what you have to do, and that's what I'm realizing, and it's been massively beneficial. So you flip the script, like I say, I think that I am most productive in the morning. I don't know most people who are going to be most productive after a full day of work. Maybe you will be. Maybe the sort of person where a day of work really riles you up and it reminds you as to why you want to be successful. Maybe it's just a personal point for me, but let's just be honest, right? If you're working 9 till 5 especially, most work days are basically a write-off. It's a nothing day. The weekends are the days where you actually live. If you're working 9 to 5, you get up early, you go to work all day, and then you come home, maybe watch some movies, whatever, then go to sleep. It's a nothingness day, really. So if you're going to have a nothing day anyway, just sacrifice the whole day, right? Why watch the movies? The movies aren't going to benefit you anyway. And even if you want to watch the movies, I'm in my online business of making money on eBay, I can watch a movie, I can listen to music whilst I'm doing the work. Simple as, right? So I'm not saying this is the way for everybody, but I think this is how I've been more productive whilst having a job, right? And I said this before in my last video, having a job for the first time has made me richer. It has made me more productive. It has made me more clear thinking. And people will take that out of context and say, see, I told you that work would do you some good. It's not the work that's done me some good. It's actually, well, it is in a way, but what I'm saying is it's in the inverse way to what you think. It's not like, oh, I've got a job and now I've got a meaning in life. Now I've got a purpose. Now I've got money flowing in. No. I've learned that I don't mind working for the next year or two, but long term, 5, 10, 15 years down the line, this is not an ideal path for me. And again, subsequently, I've been putting in extra work on eBay, extra work to a degree on YouTube, and also starting up new avenues of business which I know can be immediately profitable. I think sometimes to know what you want in life, you need to know what you don't want in life. And I've seen a vision of something that I'm not too much of a fan of, right? And that's given me so much clarity. So what I'm saying here is this. It's not for everyone perhaps, but I don't think it makes sense to give our best hours to work. And of course, if we do that, where will our productivity go? Who will benefit most from our productivity? And how will we ever escape ourselves from a system that we hate? Perhaps just something to think about, guys, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.